Hey everyone, I'm Michael Bruce, CMO at Agent Moves, and welcome to our Good to Great series. We're all about sharing amazing stories with top realtors and how they got there so we can help make more realtors great. So let's jump in today with our guest, Dana Friedman. Welcome, Dana.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So something unique about Dana, we like to talk about things that are not real estate related as we introduce our agents. Well, plenty of real estate talk coming up in the next 20 minutes. So Dana is an equestrian, not was, right? 32 years as an equestrian, U.S. and international. I don't know if you call it riding or the formal way of talking about it, but I love watching it. So tell me about it. I can only talk about riding horses and in the stables and shoveling stuff up in the mountains when I was a kid. So tell us about this adventure. 32 years.
Yeah, so it's definitely my passion. I've been a horse crazy girl since I was a kid. I fell in love. My childhood best friend had a pony party for her 8th birthday party, and I was hooked. And, I told my parents I wanted one. And they're like, how about we start with riding lessons? And I haven't stopped in 32 years. And, during the pandemic, it was super scary. I saw a lot of people get sick, pass away. So I figured I'm not waiting anymore. And I bought myself a horse at 19. I was able to really enjoy him and, be safe during COVID. It's very easy to distance yourself. Did a lot of training and trail riding. I do 3-day eventing. So I do dressage, show jumping, and cross country. So yeah, and that's what that fuels my need to help more people with their real estate. And I get to pour into my horse. I'm involved in some nonprofits that help rehabilitate racehorses and give them second careers and homes. So it's definitely like a passion of mine. And I love to be able to experience that and share that, and met a lot of other awesome people through the horse community too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, great niche. I know like we'll talk about real estate in a moment, but I know the realtors that have niches like this, whether it's you're a runner or, really plays well into your business as well, right? Making connections. People, want to be with people that they enjoy spending time with.
Yeah, and have something in common with.
Exactly, exactly. So tell us about the bridge. So this was your passion, just got the horse. So I guess it's been years of lessons and riding and so forth, right? And competing. How do you get involved in real estate? Tell us the story.
Yeah, so my family has always been in real estate. My grandfather owned property in what's known called Northern Liberties in Philadelphia. Back then, anything north of Market Street was North Philly. We had a few warehouses, rental properties, mixed use buildings. And my family, we actually used to make, bottle, and distribute seltzer in Philadelphia. I still have some of our original Friedman seltzer bottles
Is
that
that
I,
with that squirting
yeah,
thing on the top?
yeah. Yeah, the glass bottles. So I grew up around it. I mean, I remember going down and my dad collecting rent. And on the weekends, my mom and I, we'd go to open houses. But of course, I didn't want to do anything that my family did, right? Like I was young. I wanted to forge my own way. So I, went to school at Penn State. I rode on their equestrian team and tried to figure out, what I wanted to do. But at the end of the day, I never found something that was the right fit. I always wanted a challenge. I wanted to be able to grow. I didn't really want to have a glass ceiling put on me that limited not only like what I could do, how much money I could make, who else I could, learn from, grow from. So I do a ton of networking. I really say your network is your net worth. And just started meeting a lot of people. And one of my last, corporate jobs, I worked for a law firm. I was a paralegal, and I worked directly with our trust and estate and our real estate attorneys. And I was like, I really, really love this, but I don't think I necessarily want to go back to school and go to law school. So I was reaching out to people that were realtors and found that it's actually pretty affordable. And through Keller Williams, I actually can personally offer scholarships and help others get their real estate license at a very low cost. And that's what I did. I went and I got my real estate license. I partnered with a woman who had a small boutique firm and was her assistant. So I learned the business while I was taking my classes. I learned how to do showings and home evaluations and write contracts, do inspections. And it was the best thing that set me up for success. And I realized having mentors and education was so monumentally important. And as I, grew as a realtor, I found Keller Williams, and it was a perfect match. It really exemplified education and sharing and growing. And the community is absolutely phenomenal because I missed it when I had corporate jobs. I couldn't be serious about riding and training. And, it was hard because I wanted to ride, I wanted to train, but when you have a Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, you're lucky if you can do stuff on nights and weekends, and it wasn't fulfilling. So real estate allowed me to really put together my passion and give me the flexibility to also pursue my passion, which is, riding and training and competing.
Absolutely fabulous. I love it. I love that you're able to look at your lifestyle, right? And look, early on, not get caught up in, something that you like, that 9 to 5 job that you might have been starting to make some really good money. Oh, I can't leave this, but you have this passion, and that you were able, most people just, they think that's going to be their passion if they can just keep working 9 to 5, but it's the opposite. It's go make money, find that, and then have your passion, right? You can have your passion on the weekends or during the week, but finding that mix for you sounds perfect, being a realtor.
Well, and when you find something you love, it doesn't feel like work, right? And the bonus is you actually make some money doing it and help some people, but you genuinely then enjoy doing what you do every day. And some days I work, 14 hours, and some days I work 2 or 3 hours, which is the pro and con of being your own boss.
Right, absolutely. So tell me a little bit about, you didn't go into the family business part of real estate.
No, but my first listing was a family property. So I learned real fast working for family is not easy.
Yeah.
My father has probably been my hardest client ever, but it was great to have their support, and they were willing to, trust me to help them with some of the largest assets that they own.
Right. How beautiful. Wow. So tell me about, we're here to help realtors, experienced realtors, get to that next level, right? Scale, hit some new goals. So tell us, as you were on this journey now, you become a realtor, tell us about some of the things that you did that were starting to really drive your results.
Yeah, I think who you surround yourself really has an impact on your growth. I was super fortunate when I was a new agent. I started at a very small boutique firm. It was just my broker and one other agent. And, we realized quickly that in order for me to grow, I needed to make a move. And I ended up moving and joining a team. Being on that team allowed me to leverage their listings and their knowledge and expand kind of my network as well. And the other agents all had rental properties, own their own home. So I kind of felt like I needed to do that as well. So within a year from being on that team, I was able to buy my first home. And then I just made it a goal to buy a house every year and just keep, building my portfolio. And the best part was I was just sharing my story with my clients. Like, I get it, how nerve-wracking it is, to be a first-time home buyer. I've been there. And would just share the things that I learned, the things that I messed up, so that way they didn't have to go through it. Same thing, like being a first-time landlord. What are some things I wish I had known before I, did it? Sharing that gained my clients' confidence and trust. And I focus a lot on that with my business, is educating them and empowering them. Let me give you the tools so that you can make the best decision possible.
Yeah, no, excellent. So tell us about some of those challenges or things you feel, if you were to go back and do it again, right? You would have done it differently, on the homeowner side versus rental.
Yeah. So on the homeowner side, getting your pre-approval done before you even think you're ready to buy a home. I was really fortunate that I had a great support team. I had great lenders around me, but that doesn't mean that things don't pop up and come up. So it was really scary because when I made this decision, I'm going to buy a home this year. First thing you do is you want to go online and look at houses, or you want to go to open houses and shop. And then you find the one and you're like, oh, shoot, I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. where am I going to get this money? My lender needs all these documents from me and I don't know where my tax return is. So being prepared, like if you think you want to buy in the next year, start talking now so you can get all that worked out. You can figure out how much money you need to have saved, because a lot of times you'll figure out, right? We look at houses and it's like, well, I'd love the house that's, 300, even though my budget's 250. And if you knew what it would take to get you to that gap, it would be so helpful. Like, oh, I only have to save, a few more $1,000 or pay off this credit card, and that'll allow me to be in that range of that nicer home or that, better location. So being prepared is huge. I talk a lot to my first time home buyers about probably when you were thinking about going to college, like you were thinking about that 2 or 3 years before you even graduated, and you did tours and you figured out financing and how much it was going to cost. And that was just for school, right? So why don't we have that same mentality for you with purchasing probably one of the largest assets? Let's take a year and prep you and get you ready and prepared to buy a home and setting you up for success with your finances.
Yeah, I love that. That I haven't heard anyone talk of the analogy to the school and the prep work and the time. I think is I would think maybe takes like the pressure off of the couple that you might be dealing with at that first time home buyer who's panicked about this whole experience, because of course they want it now, but you being able to come in and calm them down and sit, and how you're looking at this with this approach has to make you unique.
Yeah, I love it. It's my failures, right? It's let me help you, let me tell you, so you don't have to go through the pain that I had to go through.
Right. No, really good. So now as a realtor, okay, you're building the business. Tell us about, we'll talk about some of the good stuff in growth, but some of the challenges that you faced, again, for like an agent, that's great for like how you're helping with the actual buyer or seller. But tell us about like from the business side, as you were, growing your business, maybe some things you might have done differently as you were looking to scale.
Yeah, I would say you wear so many hats, right? Because whether you're on a team or you're a solo agent, like you're doing a lot of it, so that can be hard juggling everything. But I think because in school, nobody really teaches you how to be a business owner. The first few years, I didn't have a business plan. I didn't understand like the accounting side of owning a business, the tax side. And it was my first time ever being a 1099. So kind of that like year that I was starting to actually make some money, and then to get that tax bill, like, oh, you owe, $10,000. And you're like, what? Because you didn't know, right? As a 1099, like none of your taxes are taken out. So that kind of set me back personally, being like, oh, I need to like put money aside because I'm going to get this bill or pay quarterly. That has always been a struggle for me, is like having that accounting, organized admin side of the business, because it's not the fun part, right? It's the stuff that, if you're creative and, you don't want to be doing all that. You want to be out with people and showing houses. It's still something I struggle with in my business, is devoting time to that. But what I've learned is definitely leveraging. It can be painful, like to pay somebody to do your bookkeeping, to pay somebody to help you in your accounting and CPAs, but they are the best thing that you can possibly do for your business, is to leverage them and hand off the tasks that you don't enjoy. It's the money that you spend gives you back so much of your time.
Yeah. Great advice. Agree. And the intelligence that's what they do for a living. Let them do what they do best, and, bug you to make sure you make the quarterly payment. Right. But they're on top of it. I think that's great advice. And I would think a lot of, agents would be struggling with that side. It's not as natural. Right. And because typically you have come from a company where you had a W-2 and taxes are taken out. It's nice and clean. Hopefully they took out enough, and government owes me money, not I owe them. And then you're in this totally different situation where everything you're doing, right, every expense, you look at it differently now when you own a business. So I think that's just great advice. So tell me about scaling from, from getting more business, right? So the last couple of years, right? Let's talk, post pandemic. What have you been doing to scale and grow your business?
So for me, it's really figuring out my focus and also leveraging my referrals. When you're new and you're super hungry and you're not busy because you don't have a lot of clients, you'll take whatever you can get, right? And then as you progress through and grow, you realize, well, there's certain clients I really, really enjoy working with and some that I kind of struggle with. So leveraging, if a client isn't necessarily a good fit, let me find you another realtor that is a better fit that probably loves this and is going to be able to maybe even offer you better insight, better advice. And same with location, right? So in the state of Pennsylvania, I can literally help anybody in the entire state. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm the best person to go sell you a house in Pittsburgh. It's not around the corner for me. So I have really also focused, the last 2 years on my referral network and building those trusted partners. And I've been so fortunate because I've been able to help friends and family members literally anywhere in the US and also international. So right now I have a referral. One of my partners is helping someone in Los Angeles, California. I have someone helping in Portugal that wants to buy a second vacation home. I just helped a really close girlfriend sell her home in New Jersey and buy her dream horse farm in Lexington, Kentucky. So I have these amazing partners all over. So I am able now to confidently tell my friends and my sphere of influence, literally come to me with any real estate need. I don't care where it is. I will personally find you the best person to help you with whatever you're looking for, whether that's in the city, in the suburbs, a farm, a condo, a luxury home, a first-time home, an investment property. So really leveraging that. So I then am working with the clients that match best and align best with what I'm good at and what I enjoy. That has been huge because I think in the beginning, you will take anything that you can get. And when you realize that you really focus on like the people that you have those great relationships with and get along with, it's so much smoother and you feel much more confident because you really know those neighborhoods, those areas, and can offer the best advice possible to those clients.
Yeah. So you know what? I love that advice. And again, I've done maybe up to maybe 3 dozen interviews already, right? And what's amazing is it's so different. Like everyone has something, the commonality, I think, to all agents is they want to help people. That's the biggest thing I've gotten out of speaking to, dozens and dozens beyond the interviews. That's just a great part of the DNA, I think, of the agent is helping, period. But someone that's experienced, and that's what this series is about, right? How do, good realtors that are doing well and they're looking to grow their business, how do you become great? I think that advice alone is great to not, you have a customer, a client that is really not a good fit for you, whether you don't enjoy working with them, whatever it might be, you feel, you're not right to make that connection. You don't have to take everything, right? It's not like it maybe was when you were starting out. They'll appreciate you giving it off. You may even get referrals from them that you turn them on to this other realtor that really knew that market better, whatever the reason was. But I think that's just great advice to end on and to leave with good realtors. Don't think you have to do everything.
Don't think that you're giving business away. Think about it as gaining your time back. And a lot of those connections, those referral partners now are going to think of you when they have people moving into your area too. So don't be a secret agent. Share with everybody, what you do, what you like to do, because your network is totally your network.
Yeah. I think, again, great advice. Partnerships go both ways, whether, in corporate America, partnerships, sometimes companies feel like, well, I'm going to bring in a partner here. I'm going to give you a discount. No, that's not a partnership. A partnership goes both ways. So to your point, reciprocating when you can, a little bit more difficult as you're reaching out to agents in another market. That's awesome for your client. And hopefully, they reciprocate at some point through that referral network. So again, I think just great advice and a great way to leave this. I really appreciate the time, Dana. This was awesome. Exactly what we're looking for. If people can take that little nugget away. And I think you gave us a couple of really good nuggets today. So really thank you.
Yeah,
So
thanks for
please.
having me. It was great to share and always happy to help.
Excellent. So please follow Dana on social media, follow Agent Moves, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're seeing us there, and really appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks so much.